Asterisk, what if everything vanished, leaving you freezing in the dark? Asterisk, an endless, brutal downpour turns the world into a waterlogged prison. Asterisk, shivering inside a dark cave, wrapped in rotting furs, his wild hair hides a face broken by despair. Asterisk, outside, the relentless gray storm washes away all hope. Asterisk, the hunt fails. Hunger tears at him. Asterisk, can a single tiny ember save him? Through sheer grit, he fights back, proving his survival instinct is unbreakable. Asterisk, what if the storm never stops, and your food supply finally hits zero? Asterisk, panic sets in. Every corner of the dark cave stands empty. Asterisk, forced into the freezing, relentless downpour, he hunts for roots in thick, suffocating mud. Asterisk, his wild, unkempt hair whips in the bitter wind as hunger claws deeper. Asterisk, back inside, shivering over a dying ember, he bites into a bitter, raw root. Asterisk, weakness takes over. Pain tears through his stomach. Asterisk, as the cave floods and traps wash away, is this the end? Asterisk, or will he find the strength to stand up and fight back? Asterisk, days bleed into weeks. How long can a broken man survive on sheer willpower? Asterisk, trapped by relentless rain, he counts notches on a stick while his stone tools crack in half. Asterisk, the fire sputters. Thick, choking smoke fills the dark cave as wet wood refuses to burn. Asterisk, thirst burns his throat. He collects dirty drops from the stone ceiling, praying for relief. Asterisk, staring at his gaunt reflection in a puddle, he teeters on the edge of complete defeat. Asterisk, but deep inside the shadows, a sudden spark ignites. Asterisk, he stands tall, tying a hide belt tight against the hunger. Asterisk, the storm still rages, but his spirit refuses to break. Asterisk, the rain finally eases. Is it a trap, or a chance to strike back? Asterisk, stepping out of the dark cave, his wild hair whips in the damp wind. Asterisk, he tracks deep into the mist, crafting silent wooden traps and sharpening his spear. Asterisk, hidden in the brush, he waits, holding his breath. Asterisk, a sudden flash of movement. Asterisk, muscles tense. The spear flies through the air. Asterisk, direct hit. Relief washes over his exhausted face. Asterisk, carrying his prize back to the cave, the nightmare finally begins to shift. Asterisk, steam rises from the roasting meat. After weeks of starvation, the first real bite feels like a miracle. Asterisk, wrapped in warm furs, he finally sleeps soundly as the fire glows softly. Asterisk, morning breaks. With renewed energy, he checks his outdoor traps and stacks fresh firewood. Asterisk, using bone needles and sinew, he meticulously patches his tattered clothes. Asterisk, sharp sparks fly as he crafts a deadly new blade, preparing for whatever comes next. Asterisk, then, a miracle happens, the heavy storm clouds finally break. Asterisk, golden sunlight floods the cave. Asterisk, stepping out into the warmth, he looks across a recovering world ready to conquer the wild. Asterisk, what happens when the world outside finally heals, and the path ahead opens wide? Asterisk, vibrant green shoots push through the rich earth, whispering of new beginnings. Asterisk, foraging fresh greens by the stream and catching clean rainwater, he crafts a revitalizing broth. Asterisk, his strength returns. He carves a final notch on his tracking stick, closing a brutal chapter. Asterisk, packing a lightweight bundle, he banks his safe hearth embers and leaves the cave behind. Asterisk, walking beneath a wide blue sky, he navigates sparkling rivers and high mountain lookouts. Asterisk, a distant traveler approaches, a cautious nod of mutual survival is shared. Asterisk, settling under a starry night sky, his peaceful campfire burns bright, no longer just surviving, but truly living. Asterisk, stepping out onto the vast, open plains, a new horizon calls out into the unknown. Asterisk ancient rock markings catch his eye, whispering forgotten stories of those who walked before him. Asterisk he sets up camp inside a deep, protective stone alcove as evening shadows stretch long. Asterisk roasting fresh meat over warm hearth flames, peace slowly replaces the old anxieties. Asterisk waking to crisp morning air, he packs his gear and carefully extinguishes the glowing embers. Asterisk in the distance, rising smoke signals a thriving community waiting just over the ridge. Asterisk eager anticipation quickens his step. Asterisk raising a hand in peaceful greeting, he joins the welcoming circle around a massive communal fire finally finding home. Asterisk surrounded by a thriving community, long disheveled hair and tattered furs blend into a sea of warmth and shared laughter. Asterisk learning advanced weaving and toolmaking from skilled villagers, his weathered hands master new crafts. Asterisk joining a coordinated group hunt across the Green Valley, teamwork replaces harsh isolation. Asterisk successfully executing a shared trap strategy, they celebrate with a massive evening feast. Asterisk standing before village elders, he shares hard-earned survival wisdom from the brutal winter storms. Asterisk listening to ancestral stories by the central fire, he helps reinforce the protective wooden barriers. Asterisk standing on a watchtower looking out at a peaceful horizon, he smiles gently under the starry night sky. Asterisk his survival knowledge will protect future generations, a true triumph of human endurance. Asterisk what lies beyond the safety of the village gates, when the call of the wild whispers once more? Asterisk packing a lightweight travel bundle, he prepares to test his skills against the open wilderness. Asterisk navigating familiar forest trails, he passes his old abandoned cave, looking back with quiet closure. Asterisk returning to the village at dusk, friendly faces and warm hearts welcome him back home. Asterisk sitting by the central fire, he gazes deeply into the bright orange flames, reflecting on his arduous journey. Asterisk from a lone survivor shivering in the dark to a pillar of strength within a thriving community. Asterisk the past is conquered. The future is secure. Asterisk standing tall against the glowing embers, his incredible story of endurance echoes through the ages. Asterisk the dawn breaks. A thriving community stands strong, resilient against the tests of time. Asterisk walking past orderly huts, he greets morning laborers and inspects secure food storage pits. Asterisk washing in a clear stream, he watches children play safely near the heart of the settlement. Asterisk sharing wisdom with younger apprentices, he helps forge the next generation of builders and hunters. Asterisk checking sturdy perimeter fences, he stands proudly beneath a grand ancestral totem pole. Asterisk preparing a routine patrol pack, he steps out beyond the valley into the wild once more. Asterisk returning at twilight, he enters the welcoming gates to a warm meal and glowing hearth. Asterisk looking into the fire, his journey is complete, no longer just a survivor, but a true protector of the human story.